Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Creaky Tiki Studios. This is Such Good Shoot with your hosts, Batman, a chicken farmer,
Howdy.
and a cowboy who found the hat.
I got an extra. I got one more costume in this one, and it's just because I don't want to wear this whole thing, so it's just going to be a chicken strip. Because I'm going to do this and
Look. Oh dear God! Get out of here, you cockhead!
Yeah, that's the chicken strip right there.
Oh,
Dozer, you got some real Weekend at Bernie's vibes going on right now, dude. You look fucking dead.
Dude, you look more high than I do, bro.
Well, just remember, guns don't kill people. Slack kills people.
Don't bring a light tube to a gunfight, baby.
Giddy up.
Let's get it on.
Well, it's before we let's get it on. We lost another one. So Tracy Smothers, rest in peace.
And in traditional style, I went out to find the finest Italian drink because he was a full-blooded Italian. But we all know he couldn't tell a lasagna from a light tube, so I got bourbon instead.
Rest in peace.
Also, amaretto sucks. And Italians make shitty.
Oh, no. You know what really sucks is Steel Reserve Aloe Series Spiked Tropic Storm 211.
Yeah, that looks terrible, dude. I almost had some Steel Reserve, but they just had like blue raspberry and grape.
Oh, that one's even worse than this one. This one just kind of tastes like you soaked Jolly Ranchers in vodka.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. There's something about those that in the long run, they.
Thank you, Facebook user, for your.
Yeah,
somebody's excited about the chicken strip, baby. Eggplant emoji heard. You can reach me via.
Yeah. You know, this show is all about shitty preparing, and I have to ask, Shane, do you have the Chic of the Week?
Oh, I was thinking about it last night. I don't have it up, but it'll take me 2 seconds.
Yeah, Chic of the Week, baby.
He had some good ones yesterday. Let's see. I don't know this. I haven't even read this one, so this is going to be a sight read. 6 hours ago today, the Iron Sheik said, I love the Judge Judy, but in this case, she got it wrong, Bubba. That jabroni never asked for the bicycle gimmick to be painted. He should have to give back the $340.
Oh,
so,
dude, I would pay so much money to see a fucking courtroom reality show where your Iron Sheik is the judge.
Yes.
Oh my God. No, I break your back, make you humble. You pay $40.
Is the Iron Sheik on Cameo?
I don't believe so, but he should.
So.
He needs to be.
And then one more real quick, just for your daily dose of his anger at Hulk Hogan. One day ago, he tweeted, Hulk Hogan, you are worse than the prize I get with the 100 tickets from that jabroni Chuck E. Cheese.
Yo, he just fucking shooting on Chuck E. Cheese now. I will say that Chuck E. Cheese has changed since I was a kid. That rat is scary looking these days. Well, that's your Chic of the Week. That was some good shit. I ain't gonna lie.
I like some good Chic of the Week. It brightens up our day.
It's the best.
Just follow him on Twitter at the Iron Sheik.
Yeah.
Mr. Dimmadome, would you like to answer him?
Yes, it is a fucking cowboy hat.
And yeah, you can swear, dude. You don't have to leave letters out. We can.
This show is filmed in America.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. Canadians are too polite for that.
We do what we want when we want.
Or so we say.
Oh.
And then we get in other trouble.
And then we feel like, I'm going to wake up tomorrow for work.
Yeah. As you all know, last week we spun the Wheel of Shame. We were hoping to get something shameful. And I think some people thought it was shameful, some people didn't.
Spin the wheel.
But we came up on the Crockett Cup 2019, headlined by Nick Aldis facing Marty Scrull. So, before we're going to go a little bit match by match and a little bit round table. We don't know what we're doing. We're going off the cuff because none of this is scripted. It's raw opinions on what you got here.
Yeah, dude, this is such good shoot. This is Pro Wrestling Junkies After Dark, man. You know.
We the redheaded stepchild.
Dozer is boner fuel. I've been saying this for
months.
Okay, who let Fods into the group?
Yeah, generic Facebook user is a little horny on the main tonight.
Okay.
The thirst is real. I can feel it.
This is the first known involvement of masturbation while watching our show. I don't know.
Oh, but so the pay-per-view started, and it was a start to a pay-per-view. The first match that was up was Roy Isaacs and Thomas Latimer, the Wild Cards. Oh, sorry.
Well,
it was fucking Wild Card Battle Royal. It was so bad I forgot about it.
It was really bad. It was
really bad.
I'm not going to argue at all about this match. Everything felt really fucking janky, and like none of them had ever worked together, and it just looked sloppy.
Well,
everything about it.
As Jim Cornette pointed out, the team that won, they've never tagged together. They've never done it. How the fuck are they gonna win the rest of the fucking show, man? And just a horrible start to a not so great show.
I generally think Battle Royals are the worst opening for a pay-per-view.
It's a really bad. I mean, they're just bad matches. It's like almost always just filler. And even for like the last spot, it just felt like nobody gave a shit about that one.
Yeah.
And that was like part of like there's a couple issues with the pay-per-view. One of them is it felt like nobody gave a shit for a lot of it. Like there were people getting disqualified. We'll get to it, but but I don't know. For me, like for what it was, I had fun with it. I had fun with the show. The first match was like a fucking half star because it was a match, but it was trash. And
I'd also like to quick point out the three of us have mentioned this a great many times. There were a tag team in the match of a couple what I believe African American men. And their names were the Boys, and their actual names were Boy 1 and Boy 2, which...
And this is 2019, and there's even a point, and like I'm going to say it now, and I usually have very high regard for Jim Cornette, especially his commentary work and his historical knowledge of the wrestling business, but he was a fucking big stinky turd on this fucking show.
Yeah.
You could tell A, he didn't care. You could tell B, he didn't like most of the shit he saw.
Yeah.
And you could and C, like it just came through, and C he just can't help himself from fucking using old racist cliches.
Yeah.
Such as, wow, you can tell them apart?
Yeah, you can tell the difference between Boy 1 and Boy 2. It's like, Jesus Christ, Chip, shut the fuck up.
Very much the same as the commentary given on Doom back in the day. But Doom could whip your ass.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know, man. I wouldn't want to say anything negative to either Big Butch Reed or fucking Ron Simmons. Yes.
Yes, he is. I like him. I'm a Cornette mark,
but I'm a big old bitch too, so I ain't gonna fucking hold that against him. Come on.
Yep. So now we have the first real match. The first round qualifying match for the Crockett Cup. And it was Bandito and Flip Gordon taking on, I'm going to butcher this, Guerrero Maya Jr. and Stuka Jr.
Yeah. I liked this match. I thought at the beginning of it was a little sloppy because it was obvious these guys hadn't worked together again. And I think that was like a big issue with this. But Flip Gordon was awesome. I thought that like a lot of the spots were really fun. It was fast paced. It was somewhat high flying. Wasn't too flippy, but like I even popped for a destroyer. There were a couple awesome monkey flips in it that were fucking just insane. Yeah, it was a fun match. Especially like I don't know. See, I went in. See, here's the difference. I think is I went in with like no real expectations, and then I think I sold the whole thing too high, and you went in being like, "Oh, this is gonna be good," and then you were sorely disappointed.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that first match it was kind of what it was. I mean, like Isaac said, that there were a couple really cool spots. The Destroyer was cool. I can't remember which one of the luchadors, but he did like a backwards fucking like flip off of the top rope, which was cool. But the first half was so disjointed and sloppy. It really somebody says hello, Wade.
Wade.
But
It's rad.
yeah, it kind of just like started off so bad in my eyes that it kind of turned me off of the match. Plus, there's this on-running motive in the show where the teams that are there don't make sense as to why their organization chose them. Like, why in the world, if you're Ring of Honor, right, would you go, well, there's this prestigious Crockett Cup that we want to win, and we want our team to be the NWA champion, and we want them to take home the crown, and, oh, yeah, we're just going to put Flip Gordon and Bandito together, who have never wrestled together.
Well,
Yeah.
Like, do you not have...
two teams?
What?
I think they said 2 teams. Yeah.
Yeah, because they sent the Briscoes.
Yeah.
But
And didn't
still...
they put in Villain Enterprises?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess they had 3. But, I mean, again... We'll get to Villain Enterprises, obviously, here in a little bit. But, again, are you telling me that there's not a third team on your roster that you would rather send than just going with 2 dudes who are very flippy and fun, but also, like, have never teamed, right? Doesn't make sense to me.
They co-presented this pay-per-view, so they had all the options on who to send. All in all, I'll give it 2.5 stars.
I give it 3 stars. I mean, it's obviously it's not like an incredible match or anything, but I had a lot of fun, and like I said, like I popped a lot for like some spots in it, and I had a good time. So,
Hello, Aaron.
Aaron, double A.
Okay,
Mr.
next.
Crypto.
We have the wild cards. Roy Isaacs, a guy so well known he doesn't even have a Wikipedia page.
But he's got a great last name.
And Thomas Latimer, aka the Wild Cards, taking on the War Kings, Crimson and Jax Dave. I don't remember the match.
I think I remember saying I liked it more, but I also just can't remember anything about it as well. I just remember it was a bunch of kind of big dudes kind of just whomping on each other. Yeah,
it wasn't bad. It wasn't anything special. I didn't like it as much as that luchador match, just because it was like a little slower and not as interesting. But they definitely beat the shit out of each other.
I'm just going to give it 1 star because I legit don't remember it.
Well, yeah,
I'm gonna
that's definitely 1 star where you can't even fucking remember it.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it 1.5 because I kind of remember it and I don't remember hating anything about it. So,
Okay, next we have the Briscoe brothers taking on. Hold on, am I reading this right? Yes. Apparently it's 1986. The Rock and Roll Express.
Okay. So I'm going to preface this by saying Ricky Morton is fucking incredible. That dude is incredible. Like legitimately, like no sarcasm. At I think he's 63 or 64 now. And
Going on 90.
and he was doing some shit that fucking young guys can't do still. And
Yeah, no, he always has that. He always has that suicide dive spot.
he's got the suicide dive spot. He can do the fucking. We've seen him do the destroyers recently. Like he did a Rana, I think, in this match.
I think I saw him at one point. Sorry to cut you off again, but I think I saw him at one point, like last year. At some point, he took like a apron bump. Not like, obviously not like a crazy, Kota Ibushi or anything. But for being over 60, you're taking apron bumps. You're getting into fucking Terry Funk territory.
Yeah, and the match was. I mean, I'm not going to pretend like this match was great. I think the Briscoe promo before this of them in their yard talking about like no feel good moments for you guys was fucking great. Like those guys cut such a good promo. They're so convincing. Like you just know that like these guys just love to fight. They're a great tag team. The Briscoes.
Yeah. And
guys, I wish they would go to NXT or something like that.
No, they're already both like 40, dude.
Yeah, but still, they would be so much fun in NXT. That with fucking Cole or against Cole and fucking O'Reilly or something would be great.
Never do that again, Shane.
Shane, god damn it, dude. My dick can only get so hard, bro.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the match went, I mean, it was the Rock and Roll Express in the year 2019. It was fun, and they accomplished what they needed to accomplish. But this brings up my point, which is why the fuck are they wrestling in this tournament? Like, I understand, like, obviously history-wise, they were connected to the NWA, connected to the Crockett Cup, whatever. But in the year 2019, when the NWA is promoting this event and like bringing in national stars and things, are you telling me that there wasn't a better team that could have taken a spot?
That wasn't about that. I think they did a good job of dealing with that, saying that. Like,
I mean,
all
and
the
that's
accomplishments. This is the one thing they never won is the Crockett Cup. And sometimes, like, just trying to give them that feel good moment is enough. And I thought, like, for what it was, like the biggest thing, like this match would have been a 4-star match for me if they had fucking not goddamn fucking continually cut to fucking black and white.
Yeah, because that's a problem throughout the whole fucking show.
Because
just weird
extents and like they cut to black and white. But then they cut back to color, and you could still see the blood. So I don't fucking know.
It didn't make sense, and it was distracting more than anything.
Yeah,
and I think like had we been able to really see him struggling and bleeding, it would have been a much better match.
Yeah,
but like, it was fine. It was 2.5 to 3 for me.
I mean,
the Briscoes are awesome. Ricky was awesome. I mean.
Robert Gibson, I sucked out most of his power, but whatever.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was like a 2.5 for me as well. Like I can't rate it better than that first match. Like I said, I mean, and obviously, like I understand, the way things actually are, why you would put them in the show. But looking at this from like a completely kayfabe perspective, if I'm booking this. Like, that's not the team I want, even if they want to be in it. I'd much rather have a younger, more able-bodied team. Like,
and I don't
disagree with that. I don't understand the point because you sit there and you're watching and go, well, in what fucking world are the Rock and Roll winning it?
And there's not a world.
In what world are the Briscoes not just literally beating the ever-living fuck out of them in 30 seconds?
Yeah, I mean, just jumping all over them. I mean,
in a real fight, yeah, it'd be over. And, like, not to say that in their prime, yeah, that would have been an incredible matchup, but, like, yeah, those guys are not.
Their prime
and
ended
20 plus
years ago.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
can tell, like, they're in great shape still for like their age, but like, good lord. I got another one rolled up too.
Mr.
Plus,
Facebook user,
plus I got
fucking
my,
on to you.
my laser cat, fucking GMO live rosin. So
Fucking
Well, after that match, we go on to Villain Enterprises. Brody King and PCO taking on fuck.
Da fuck. Yeah, dude, da fuck got their ass kicked.
Satoshi Pajama Momama,
Kojima.
Chen Kenichi.
Yeah.
There was some bumps in this match. There were some apron bumps in this match that were
Yeah, it was a fucking PCO match.
holy shit, dude. For being like, dude, and this is I know what your issue is here, is that why would New Japan of all tag teams send these old fuckers? But they did a great job.
Say about me?
That was a great match. Yeah, I missed that. What was that comment? That was a great match though.
I enjoyed it.
Give me a hint. Give me a little hint. Yeah, I mean, it was definitely the best match up until this point. Like, and it was the first match where I honestly felt like the old fucks belonged. Like PCO in his new character, like, yeah, he can't work the way he used to, but again, the dude's over 50 and used to be a fucking Mountie. Like he was one of the damn Mounties. And then you look at, PCO as this new character, like, it kind of makes sense storyline wise as to why he's taking all these fucking crazy bumps. And he did like this really long like YouTube series where it was like reinventing, like the reinvention of PCO, where he would just like fucking take bumps and then just put it on YouTube, or they'd like hook up shot collars to him and he'd stand there like and then you have Brody King, who is obviously this younger, super beef, just kick the shit out of you, absolute brawler. I don't think Brody can move at like necessarily an NXT level. You know what I mean? But he's a very good hardcore brawly. Would have fit right in with Stan Henson and the Funks, and you know what I mean? That sort of dude. I mean that those sort of dudes. I think he's pretty fucking good.
I like that match. That's one of the best matches of the whole night for me. 3.5, 3. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting that I have to grade this on the scale of all other pay-per-views too.
Yeah. Real quick, just as far as the New Japan side is Isaac is right. I don't understand, if you're New Japan, why you would send them over. Like, between them, there's a shitload of IWGP Tag Team Championships. There's a couple IWGP Heavyweight Championships. Somebody I know. But
it's gonna bug the shit out of you, isn't it?
Oh, it is gonna bug the shit out of me. It might be Robert. I'm gonna guess Robert. But
they told us earlier in the chat, and I put it on the screen.
I remember.
I don't remember. Must have not been paying attention. But yeah, it's like, if you're New Japan, where the fucking girl is a Destiny? You know what I mean? Where's like, look, Evil and Sonata? You know what I mean? Like,
I think New Japan was afraid if they sent new guys, they might actually win and have to do more NWA games. There you go.
Good at this. But yeah, I mean, I really like the continued chop spots. It made it feel completely different than anything else on the show, and it definitely made it feel more legit and kind of like this show should have felt, in my opinion. Yeah, I think it's a 3-star match.
I gave it a 3 if you watched my fingers.
That's a cowboy number 3 right there, pal.
Okay. Next, we have the one and only women's match in this pay-per-view, which I'm not accustomed to only having one anymore, where we had Allison Kay taking on Santana Garrett, Rob's sister.
All right, I don't want to take this over, but let me tell you something. This is the point in the night where I really started getting pissed, like, and getting over with the show, because they bring out Medusa, and Jim Cornette's like,
She's carrying her fucking cell phone.
well, yeah. Jim Cornette's like, this is one of my best friends. Yeah, she's legendary. She's nice. She's cool. Look at her. It's Medusa. And then she like gets in the ring, and they have this nice looking belt, like definitely not tacky in a woman's way. It just looked like a little bit of a smaller version of a normal heavyweight championship belt. Looked great. And this bitch is reading her fucking lines off of her phone.
Yeah,
Are you kidding me? And I like synchronized flippy bullshit.
I lost it when I saw her carrying the phone out. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
You shouldn't need to carry a phone. You should be able to cut a 45-second promo without a goddamn phone.
It's like,
Especially
how
if
much
you're a
can
fucking Hall of Famer?
How much can you not give a shit about this? Like, are you kidding?
Yeah, that was messed up. And the match itself was good.
It's fine.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was a decent match, but yeah, that left a bad taste in my mouth.
From Aaron, Kay was a boring champion in his opinion. No offense to her, just didn't grab me as a world champ. Thunder Rosa was killing it, and yes.
Yeah,
Thunder Rosa killed a lot of things.
Yeah, Thunder Rosa is rumored to be taking a little trip to Orlando, though. So
That's what I keep hearing, but I also keep hearing she's signed multi-year for wherever.
I'm afraid of her taking a trip to Orlando because I'm afraid of how they'll roll.
yeah, fucking Serena Deeb just won the NWA title. I saw that. Pretty fucking cool for her.
Straight Edge Society.
Yeah, I was gonna say yeah. She was the bald chick in Straight Edge Society. She also wrestled in either one of or both of the Mae Young Classics that WWE ran.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Smashing Pumpkins boy says no, she did not sign with the NWA.
He's been very generous letting people do whatever during this time since they're not running shows anyway. He got her till next year at minimum. We're not far from next year.
Yeah,
This year's never going to fucking end.
the match itself, it was a solid female wrestling match that didn't do anything great or incredible, but it also didn't do anything stupid or offensive.
Yeah, it was a 2-star match.
I would give it like a 1.5, but
Fucking Dozer. Number 2. Dozer.
I'm keeping it simple down here.
Yeah. God damn it.
and Isaac, did he get a hold on some brownies or something? He's been extremely reserved today.
I know. It's funny.
Not drunk
Like I said, he looks more fucking baked than me today. But
So, coming up, match 7 of the night. Because there are 11 matches on this card, which, too many in my opinion, but there was a tournament involved. So,
it was a long show. I will give it
Yeah,
that.
Yeah,
4
fucking 3.5
It
hours.
was a long show.
Goddamn WrestleMania. We had Roy Isaacs and Thomas Latimer taking on Bandito and Nick Gordon.
That was a good match, too.
This is the match where Flip's knee randomly gave out that they had been very obviously telegraphing for the entire night, so it wasn't a shock when it happened.
Yep. That was it. That was the big...
Yeah.
Yeah, like Bandito barely wrestled in the match from what I remember, which was annoying. Like, and again, it's just two thrown together teams. Again,
It was a short one. It wasn't that very... It was like a, 6 or something?
Everything on the show was short. Like, even the main event by, like, most major promotion standards was at least normal, if not a little short.
It It would be normal for a WWE main event. It would be pathetically short for an AEW main event.
Or an NXT main event.
It would be short for an NXT opening match for a takeover.
Yes.
So, what you got?
Oh, I was just gonna say I don't know. It was like a 2, I think. 1.752.
I'll go with that.
1.845 repeating.
How do you do that with your fingers, bud? Touche. Touche. For all our audio listeners, he said, fuck you in sign language.
He did it with his middle finger.
Yeah, dog. Yeah, dog.
We don't have audio listeners yet.
No, but I got to start getting in the mode because Pro Wrestling Junkies, we're gonna be going on the fucking on the real deal worldwide web of fucking podcasting. So we're gonna be available on all the good shit like Apple's or iTunes. I don't know, dude.
All of the such good shit.
All the good things, dude. All the things.
All the things.
All the things, man, brother. Sorry.
Okay.
A toast?
A toast. A toast to Jacob.
None of y'all know.
Not the Canadian Jacob. We're not.
That's an inside joke.
Utah.
That probably only Facebook user gets.
Yeah. But yeah, what was next? What the hell? This is a long one.
Next was Villain Enterprises taking on the Briscoe Brothers.
Yes. This match was fucking short, but it was fun.
And boy, did the finish piss me off. Again.
I love how the things that pissed you off was it's not kayfabe enough for you. That actually makes me happy.
Isaac, can I blow your mind for a second? Because this was the third longest match of the night.
You can really. I was going to say you can blow me anytime you want. It was. How long was this?
9 minutes.
Really?
Close to 10. 9 minutes, 50
Wow.
seconds.
It felt quicker because I enjoyed it so much.
Yeah, the action itself was really good.
It was a good
Like
match. Those guys were fun, but yeah. The Briscoes should have won it all, right? Like, there's no reason why any other team should have beaten them. And so the only way you can beat them is to have them beat themselves. And yeah, it sucked, but I don't know. It made sense that the only thing they really cared about was whooping the shit out of somebody.
Real quick, you listening privately?
So we're coming up with a new game here for the show, folks. Anytime you want us to drink, just type a toast in, and we'll do literally all of them.
Oh dear fucking God!
Well, if we're gonna do that, then.
Oh, fucking Nat attack!
Nat attack, drink.
Oh.
Y'all can drink along with us, but if you aren't professional drinkers, I do not recommend playing the games.
Yeah,
but
you're not allowed to.
Yeah, you're not in the fucking cool kids
club. You're not cool enough to drink along with us. So if you smoke every time I smoke, and you take dabs every time I take dabs, that's another.
You'll be dead.
That's not true.
But back to the match. The work itself was fun. I mean, PCO and Brody King are a good team. The Briscoes are one of the best tag teams of the past 20 years, especially when you consider they never really touched base with the man in Connecticut.
Oh no, the fact that they've done
and they never really wrestled anywhere, dude. They spent like a year in New Japan once, and they have really mostly been Ring of Honor guys.
And that's pretty impressive because they really do Like they
I
are
mean, everyone knows who the Briscoe brothers are. I bet you could interview 500 people who are just going to a Monday Night Raw show, and over half of them, if you said the Briscoe brothers, they'd be like, "Oh, Ring of Honor," you know what I mean? Indie, you know what I mean? They get something.
I mean, for me,
You're smoking out of Shane's favorite stash?
out of Shane's favorite item, you've got
My favorite item is definitely, little Shane down there. You are not smoking out of that.
He's smoking.
You could be.
Oh, Jesus.
But
Totally lost my train of thought on that one, bud.
But yeah, the finish, the Briscoe brothers, they get really angry and start hitting them with the chairs, and I'm like, do you not care? Like, I mean, I suppose it makes more sense for the Briscoe brothers given the gimmick, but still, I'm like,
yeah, I don't think they do the Briscoes. No, I think, and this is what I was going to say before Robert started talking about putting your dick in his mouth. Was that can you imagine the Briscoe brothers at the same time as the Edge, Hardys, and Dudley's feud? If you just insert them into a 4-way fucking tag team feud.
But I mean, at the same time, I feel like you can do that with a lot of the best teams of the past, 15 years. Like
they fit though. I think they fit in a way that no other team would with those guys in particular.
I mean, I agree, but again, I'm just looking at it like, man, can you imagine if the Usos would have been around back then? Can you imagine if the New Day would have been around back then?
But
like,
those guys also, like, their gimmick and their story does not like mesh the same way as like the Briscoes does with the Dudleys. You know what I mean?
because they just want to fight everyone. Like, their gimmick is simple. We're backyard fucking brawlers. We'll kick your ass, and then we'll make a bunch of money. That's it. We fight because we want to, not because we have to.
They fight because they're damn boys.
I'm going to give the match a 3.5.
Yeah, I think it was one of the best matches of the night.
It's like a 3, but that's kind of the scale for the night for me.
Yeah. I do want to apologize to all of our YouTube watchers, viewers, as professionals may call you. Comments are disabled. We did not do that. We are still figuring out the system. I apologize. We'll figure it out.
Man.
Dozer, sorry. But
Wade is frustrated.
I apologize, Wade. I apologize.
Yeah, Isaac, fucking apologize to Wade, dude. That's your friend.
I do love you, Wade.
Say you're sorry.
I didn't realize we were talking about Wade, guys. I love
Say it!
I'm sorry, Wade. I apologize. The rest of you, though, can go fuck yourselves. You're cool, Wade.
Yeah, so the next match on the card.
Yeah, was there another one?
Oh, they're because this pay-per-view never ends, but my mouse is not cooperating.
Oh, what was next then?
We had a match that I thought was actually better than I expected. That is Colt Cabana, Isaac's Foremost Collection, taking on Willie Mack.
I've got a lot of Colt Cabanas.
Ooh, here, real quick.
Colt Cabana versus Willie Mack, though, was like, I was like, what the? I was just surprised that dude, that's pretty sick. That's pretty sick. That's beautiful.
Anyways.
No longer a stable either.
Yeah. But, they'll always be a stable in my heart.
I like Willie Mack a lot. I think Willie Mack is a great wrestler. Very entertaining. I still don't fully understand the idea of him. I still don't understand the idea of him stealing Stone Cold's gimmick. Whether or not he got permission or not. Either way, he's good. Colt Cabana is very entertaining. He's not one of my favorite wrestlers. I don't think he's that good. He's all right. I will say the one thing that I fucking hate is his fucking Superman pin or whatever they call that.
Oh, dude, it's so good.
No, it is not. What do you give me an offer, Aaron? What do you got? What do you got? Every Colt Cabana I sell comes with a free dick pic, so don't forget.
Oh Christ!
Whatever, dude. It's your dick that I'm gonna send him a picture of.
You don't have a picture of my dick. You have a picture of almost my dick. Anyways, this was a good match. This was honestly probably my favorite match of the night.
There was that one night you got a little drunk. And,
that one night.
Sorry, what was that last comment? I want to read that last comment. Willie Mack was a dope national champ. I need to see more of him. I agree. And if you go back,
watch his New Japan's. I mean, his Lucha
Underground. Go check out Lucha Underground season 2. He's in it a lot, and he's fucking insane
as the Mac, not
Mac
of the William variety.
Yeah.
Yeah. The match starts with him taking a pretty fucking ramp, especially with the camera angle. It just looks like he dives to hell, or flies rather, because he kind of goes. He goes like feet first through maybe the middle rope and just goes straight to hell. And Jim Cornette's freaking out. I think it was one of the best. I think this match was probably the best job Jim Cornette did throughout the night, because he was like putting over how Willie Mack couldn't do it, and you know how Colt Cabana needed to be more serious and not fuck around. And
he hates Colt Cabana so much, and it was so obvious.
Yeah, but
I think he was just the Mac in Lucha Underground. Pretty sure.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was an entertaining match. I thought it was the most loose and definitely a good way the show felt. Like, to the point where they didn't have to be rigid and be NWA old school style, and they kind of just went out there and mesh styles and just did their own thing, and it felt different.
Yeah, it was fun.
I will say, I think one of the best investments a pro wrestler who especially works on the indies can do is have their own theme music written for them, so they can take it to whatever promotion they go to and use it on TV and whatever.
Cabana.
Yeah, it works. It's the branding. Wherever he goes, he has the same music, the same gimmick. It
boom.
Works.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, no, and he does have that for sure.
Yeah,
but yeah, Colt Cabana won with the Superman flying pin thing that looks really cool, but doesn't make very much sense.
It does look fucking cool as hell. I'm not gonna argue that. It looks fucking awesome, except for the fact that I'm like, dude, if you can kick out from like a fucking roll up, you can kick out from that shit. Like the idea that like is some fucking sort of like super fucking powered pin is just ridiculous. Because
man, Dozer's hat is fucking over,
dude.
Like Dozer's hat is more over than this show because the crowd was fucking dead. And that's another thing that annoyed me.
Yes.
Yeah.
The crowd was like
the crowd sucked.
And that's actually is really unusual for one of the NWA shows. Like normally the NWA Power shows, the crowd is really fun.
I mean, granted, it was a really large room, so maybe there was a lot of wasn't. I mean,
I think part of the issue is with it being co-branded as a Ring of Honor show. You got a lot of fans in there who were expecting more Ring of Honor, which is a little bit more fast-paced than the old school schlag of NWA.
I mean, and you also have to take into account, like, all of the matches other than the main event were so...
Those are as an old school oil tycoon. There will be blood. I drink your milkshake.
I have a bolo tie somewhere.
But, like, the matches were also short time-wise and generally slow action-wise. There wasn't enough time in these matches to, like, get people invested. It's just, like, it's slow, here's a big move, it's slow, finish, and they're gone. And then they'll come back out again in half an hour, and it's just, like, I can't get invested in any of these tag matches at all, like... That was
hard because they didn't give them the time to tell their stories.
No.
And then they threw in a couple of these other matches that felt unnecessary.
And-
They should have decided the last team before this started. They didn't need the battle royale. Save that 10 minutes or whatever. The women's match.
Like, I was okay with the women's and the Colt Cabana match. Like, if they would have done it where the entirety of the tag tournament, like, start to, like, the last match happened, and then they did, like, the women's match, and then the Colt Cabana match, and then they had the two final teams come back out after that, and then they did the heavyweight title. That would have been fine, because it would have made sense to give both teams a little bit of a break, because they're in the finals, blah, 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 whatever. But it just, again, in large part, it just kind of felt disjointed as a show. Like, didn't feel like they put effort into actually put it, putting matches on the card where they should have been.
I mean, really what it felt like is this is what they could get, and they were just doing like, all right, this is what we have to work with, and we're gonna stick stuff here. Like, we need to give these guys a break, so we'll stick Colt Cabana and fucking the Mac here before the last match of the Crockett Cup or whatever, so all these guys can get a rest because they've worked 3 or 4 matches already. But
yeah.
It just felt like they were working with what they had. And where I was coming from, like, was that, like, it's the NWA. It's a YouTube show. Like,
it wasn't a YouTube show at this point, I believe.
It wasn't even a YouTube show?
No.
Oh.
This
I thought
was
this was
okay.
So it was even before. So it was even before that. And so again, like, it just, for what it was, like, it didn't. I had zero expectations other than, like, it was going to be fun. And, like,
Hi, DBJ.
The one thing that I was actually excited about was, like, Cornette being on commentary, because I like Cornette on commentary usually, was the one thing that, like, was obnoxious for me other than the black and white shit. It's like, I just thought he did a shitty job.
And normally things like kayfabe that I'm not, the most into annoyed the shit out of me. So, and like, sorry, go ahead. We'll. No, I was just gonna say. I mean, I think the thing is, I think the thing is when I hear NWA, I put myself into a very, this is still real to me, damn it, like, mental position. You know what I mean? Like, when I think NWA, I think classic wrestling. So, like, I put myself in that mood, and then I become like, and I was so, I don't think overcritical, because I think most of my issues with the show are valid. But, and then I look at it from that perspective, and I just don't, the show didn't connect with me at all. But sorry, go ahead with the finals of the Cup, I believe.
Yes. So, did we rate that match 3.5 for me?
Yeah, 3.25 for me.
What's the 3?
Okay, next we have Villain Enterprises taking on the Wild Cards with Medusa.
This one was not the best.
No,
they were all clearly beaten, broken, and
they were gassed. They were gassed, and you could tell. How long was that one even?
Like 6.5 minutes.
Yeah, it was not. It was fucking. Yeah. At that point, I had sort of lost interest in this, and I was only interested in watching Nick Aldis.
1 star.
I literally watched that match less than an hour ago.
1 star.
1 star.
1 star for sure.
Yeah.
But the main event, Nick Aldis versus Rapey Scrull, or whatever his name is.
So
Martin
the rapist.
Next we have Nick Aldis taking on Marty Scrull.
Allegedly.
This is not a news. We will not comment on any actions that have happened by Marty Scrull after this. Or any stories that come out.
Allegedly.
Any allegedly's in. We don't have a law budget here.
Allegedly. This is satire. I think it works as long as we say that.
Yes, it was the wild card's fourth match of the night, but every match they wrestled was like 6 minutes, and like I couldn't go 24 minutes, and I know that like stopping and starting sucks, but it doesn't like matter like because the match sucked.
Yeah, I mean,
like I mean,
I'll be
I'm not like blaming them. Like I'm not saying they suck. The match sucked because they were gassed, either because of just conditioning or because of how the show was booked or whatever. Again,
I would have literally died.
Enterprise is a storyline reason to be gassed and slower and beaten and broken.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a great match, and it is what it is. Also, Villain Enterprises won. I don't know if we mentioned that, but they won.
Who gives a fuck? But yeah, it was trash. But the main event, I really liked the main event. And you have some fucking things to say about this. And I'm actually haven't responded because I'm going to let you have your word and I might say some shit too. But let's go. Let's go ahead.
I'll start off by saying I really liked how in the first 2 minutes of the match, Martin, being a smart man, eliminated that bitch Camille.
That was good. I mean, there was a lot of good storytelling in that match.
Yeah, and there was a lot of good storytelling. I'm not disagreeing, but I feel the same way about this match like I do the Jey Uso and Roman Reigns match.
No, this one was way more interesting than that. Way more interesting. There was a lot of blood. There was...
black and white, man. It was in black and white for half of it.
Yeah, that sucked.
Yeah, and again, it took me out of it. I don't care about the blood when they do blood and then they censor themselves. It's not like it was an accident this time. The second time in the show, it didn't look like an accident the first time.
The first time,
and then
you definitely played it.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And the second time, it happened twice. That's not going to happen twice. Don't fucking do blood and then say sorry about it right after doing it. If you're going to do blood, show blood.
I 100%.
So
I think trying to censor the blood is ridiculous.
If someone knows this, if you paid for this pay-per-view, watched it on Fight or whatever it was on, was that on there, or was this black and white only on the YouTube upload?
Yeah, that was what I was wondering. Is like, if you fucking bought this shit, were you subject to fucking them trying to like, oh shit, turn it black and white? Because it wasn't
even black and white. It was like 1800s photo. It was like varying levels of caramel and brown.
The vaudevillain's entrance.
Yes, yes. Like at least black and white, it kind of would have given the same like stark contrast between skin and blood. With the caramel, it just kind of blended in.
Camille, and I like what they've done with her. I like the idea that like they've spent a lot of time like building her up, not like the whole you don't let her talk shit, and then like her like getting the opportunity and walking off and just being a bad bitch. Like they do a good job with like development of shit like that. But that being said, yeah, I wish there had been more of her in the match, but
they kicked her out early.
She did come back later. When the ref had taken his little ref bump or whatever. But no, I thought it was a good match. Like I said, like the biggest issue for me was Jim Cornette on commentary and the goddamn censorship of blood. Had that been an issue, I think it would have been a 4-star match. I really do. But you don't like Nick Aldis as much as I do.
No, I legitimately think Nick Aldis is boring. I think that he is a champion because of the way he looks and the way he carries himself, not the way he works. And as a new school professional wrestling fan, that bothers me.
I think he's a good worker.
I think he's an okay worker, but again, I would not put Nick Aldis into the top 100 wrestlers on the planet today. Legitimately, I wouldn't. He might be able to sneak in somewhere if it's just on top 100 male wrestlers, but he is not. If it's male and female, he is not in the top 100 wrestlers. He's just not.
Well, let's be honest though. How many people in Ring of Honor and Lucha or in NWA Power would be on that list?
Not too many, but that doesn't change the fact that he's not a great wrestler. That just means he's better than the bunch, and that's why he's champion.
I think he's really good. I think he's really good.
I think he's great as the NWA.
Yeah, especially
that's what I said.
Company. I do think that put him in a different promotion. I think he has all the potential in the world to be really good and succeed.
And if he changed his work rate and he adapted,
like I think
then absolutely.
I think if you put Nick Aldis in NXT and give him 8 months and put the belt on him, it would make perfect sense. And I think he would.
Yeah, but again, how much of that would be him, and how much of that would be the people he's facing? You know what I mean? And it's not like a Khali situation. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that Nick Aldis
it's even a John Cena situation, right? Where like he's good, but like the people he wrestles with will make him better. Like I think he's a good wrestler.
Oh no, I think John Cena makes other wrestlers better. That's my opinion. But again, I just don't get it. I don't get it with Nick Aldis.
Disagreement with you.
Yeah, I do. I see it. I see the potential there. I like his in-ring work, and I think the reason why you think his work is boring and slow is because he works as an NWA champion.
Yeah, I mean, and that's fine.
And I think that, like I said, I think if you,
Nick Aldis is no. You shut the fuck up, okay? Listen, I can get a Great Khali cameo.
Nat Turner is better than Great Khali. And also,
I'm better than Great Khali in the one backyard wrestling match I was involved in somewhere at some point.
Listen, all I'm trying to say is, have you ever seen Nick Aldis pin anyone with a fucking brain chop? No, you haven't.
No, that's true. That's true. I haven't. But here's the thing with Nick Aldis is I can see him in NXT. And changing his work rate and to match the style, like I think he's that good.
If that
knows how to work for what he's doing,
and if that happens, and and that actually occurs or whatever, or he changes his style a little bit, kind of Okada. Goodbye, Dozer.
I'm still here, just giving you guys the floor.
Oh, okay, bye, Dozer.
Yeah, I mean,
head to head. This is fucking late night with fucking, I don't know, I'm fucked up. But no, I think Nick Aldis is great.
But if he pulls like an Okada situation, you know what I mean? Where he kind of slowly changes his style and incorporates new moves or whatever, that's fine. And I will openly admit that I was wrong. I just, watching the matches I've seen, I cannot see him making it as big and as well revered as he is in any other promotion.
Yeah, see, I disagree. I think as soon as he goes to, if somebody gave him the money to go to New Japan, I think he would wrestle a fucking New Japan style and kill it. I think he would if he went to NXT and they wanted him to wrestle that style, he would kill it. I think if they wanted to go to fucking AEW and do it, he would fucking wrestle whatever style they wanted him to.
Okay.
Maintaining the same, more or less, gimmick that he has, which is a fucking great gimmick, and he looks incredibly.
No disagreement there.
He carries himself like a champ. Whatever belt he will hold, he would elevate just with his presence, right? And sometimes that makes a big difference. You don't have to always be the best wrestler in the world as long as like you can entertain people. Like, look at The Rock.
Yeah, I mean, but again, we go back to this thing that I'm, I'm either entertain me or work rate. You know what I mean? Those are my two things with wrestling is either want to be entertained and laugh and have a good time, or I want to watch the matches for the matches. You know what I mean?
No, I get it.
So he is literally, 180 of what I look for.
He entertains me, though. His wrestling style entertains me.
Okay.
I think the man has all the upside potential in the world, and I think he's one of the best things in the NWA. And I would love to see him go to New Japan. Honestly, I think Nick Aldis in New Japan would be a lot of fun to see, and would be one of the things that would actually change your mind.
I think that he should go to TNA.
Hey, TNA's been on the uptick.
Apparently, it's been
Sorry.
decent recently. Maybe I'd watch an Impact or two. Maybe we should review whatever it was they did, the Bound for Glory or whatever.
Slammiversary.
We would need to borrow Facebook users' Impact Plus login.
I do know Facebook user has a TNA login. I mean, so if people would like to see TNA shows and Facebook user would like to donate, I'd be down to go watch some older TNA or newer TNA.
We're all about that. We will watch these things and ridicule them, or praise them if
we have a shame.
That was your camera nodded yes for you. Wheel of Shame. Yeah, the wheel of shame can add TNA.
I would watch Impact. It's not on a channel I get.
Yeah, I don't have the opportunity to watch Impact.
And I'm not
your
cable package for Impact.
Your camera is freaking me the fuck out, Dozer.
Okay, I'll take my foot off the fucking table.
Oh.
I thought there was an earthquake in Virginia, man.
I give the match 3.
Yeah, I think for me it was the best match of the night. It wasn't like the reasons why I said already between the commentary. I think if Jim Cornette had not been on commentary at night, the other guys were great. Actually, I thought were really good.
Well, it's Ring of Honor's main commentator. I don't know who the other guy was, but
had it not been for that and the black and white nonsense, I think it would have been 4 stars. Because of that, I think it was 3.75.
Impact is on Twitch, says Facebook user.
Facebook user. Is that BDJ Facebook user? Is that RG Facebook user? We don't know.
Or is it WG? I think WG might have been Facebook user as well.
Oh, is WG?
I don't know.
We like WG. We love WG. It's wonderful. Well, that was the pay-per-view. I mean, that was the end of it, and it was long. It was not nearly as long as this podcast has been tonight, but or as long as Shane's fucking hangdown. I hear that thing's like a goddamn Alabama trouser snake, ain't it? But yeah, we were gonna talk a little bit about Hell in the Cell, but I don't think it's worth it because it was so fucking bad.
Yeah, it was an awful show. Literally only watched Sasha Bailey. That is the only match. Which Isaac, you need to go watch. If you haven't watched a match, go watch a match.
That's the one thing I was actually looking forward to after that abomination abortion.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking good.
Of everything else, I did watch right before we went on. I watched the Halloween Havoc, and that was pretty fun. There was a few things like the Mummy showed up and hugged somebody, which was kind of funny. There was a couple like things that were like funny, although ridiculous. Shockmaster showed up. That was funny. But yeah, the matches themselves were good. The main event for the women's title was fucking awesome. There were some crazy ass bumps. Candice LeRae took an insane ladder bump. Like, holy fuck, dude. Like Jeff Hardy style ladder bump, like insane.
Well, yeah, you watch that fucking match with her and Joey Ryan versus the Bucks, dude. We watched that together. That lady is insane.
Uh-huh. And
It-
Io Shirai is amazing. Like she is so fucking good.
Alrighty, kids. You want your homework for the week? Want your homework? Go watch Candice LeRae and Joey Ryan versus the Young Bucks guerrilla warfare match.
Yes.
Battle of Los Angeles 2015 or something.
Yes.
Go watch that fucking match because Miss Candice blades and she really, really blades.
It was fucking dope. It was a great match. I was like, oh shit, and I see big things in her future. And we were just talking about this before we went on air. I think this is building towards her getting the belt.
I mean, and it absolutely should because she deserves it. She's been nothing but a team player, apparently. Everything I've seen on NXT. I mean, she's lost a bunch. She's gradually, rode her way up the card. She's been there. She's knocked. She's got knocked back down. She got back up. She knocked.
And I think by the time, and I think when she finally gets it, it's not going to feel like, oh, she's there because of
Infamous.
Johnny.
The famous dick wrestler? Yes, the penis plex. And yes, he does do a penis plex in the Battle of Los Angeles match. He does.
That is probably the dumbest shit in the fucking world. But that's why Shane hated the NWA pay-per-view, because they're no dick flips.
Yeah, dude. Fucking Nick Aldis did a dick flip. I'd be all over it.
Yo, yeah, the NWA Championship, Nick Aldis dick flipping a blow-up doll.
Because at least it would kind of entertain me.
Oh, God. Yeah.
And on that incredible bombshell, this has been Such Good Shoot, the podcast about anything and everything in the world of wrestling.
And
He's Isaac.
I'm Isaac.
He's Shane.
He's Shane.
I'm Dozer.
He's
Catch
dope.
us next week right here on Pro Wrestling Junkies.
And we're powered.
At 10 p.m.
And we are powered by Pro Wrestling Junkies, 100%. We love those guys. Check them out on Facebook. Get in on the card breaks. Get in on all the fucking dope shit. And
what do you say with DDJ? All the other podcasts? There's like
Junkyard,
4 now?
The Junkyard. And yeah, so fucking check it out. We got the PWJ Pod Squad in full effect, and just get ready for the official launch of all our podcasts under the Pro Wrestling Junkies banner, under the PWJ Pod Squad banner, and yeah, look for all that shit on this YouTube channel, and then on the PWJ podcast channel, which will be announced shortly. So.
And just remember, giddy up.